So I'm having one of those rare and wonderful days where my makeup turns out exactly the way I wanted it to, and I feel like I should take advantage of the situation by filming like 12 videos today. But am I gonna do that? Probably not. Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I am here with the USMC birthday book tag. This tag was originally created by Lori and Thomas from the channel Lori and Thomas, and I was tagged by them, so thank you so much, you guys. As they stated in their video, you do not have to be a member of the Marines or in any branch of the military or anything. They just created this tag as a way to celebrate the culture and the people. Question number 1. Core values of honor, courage, and commitment. Choose a character that embodies these values, and you can either do one character for each of them or choose one that embodies all three. Honor. Someone who values human dignity and would never betray his fellow warrior. Courage, having the ability to run into a dangerous situation even though your life is at risk and you're scared to death. Commitment, holding oneself to the highest standards, loyalty to a moral code, and drive to complete the mission. And I went with a character who I think exemplifies all of them, and that is Noemi Vidal from Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray. This is a really fantastic science fiction novel, and I still need to read the sequel, but Noemi is just one of my favorite main characters I think I've ever read. She's so strong and intelligent and brave, and she sticks to what she knows is right, but something I also really admire about her is she's willing to change her worldview based on new information or based on meeting new people who have a different perspective than her. I think she's still very strong in her core beliefs and her core values, but she's willing to acknowledge that she may have interpreted them in ways that are not entirely correct. And I think that's so fantastic. Her development as she comes to realize that some of the beings that she comes across in this novel, they might actually be considered people, and she has to reconcile her belief in what humanity is with the new information she's getting and with the new relationships she's forming, and I think that is done really beautifully. Number 2. Now the Marine Corps Birthday Ball is a tradition where all the Marines in your unit get together with their significant others and they celebrate the USMC and its amazing history. Name a book which celebrates tradition or history with an amazing ball or party. And I was going to try and answer this with a classic like YA ballroom scene, and I could not think of one that I had read, like, even remotely recently. I think it's time to bring that trope back, you guys. Like, I know it gets a bad rap, but a lot of us love a good ball scene, don't we? So I ended up going with Witchwood by Tahara Mafi. There's a festival in this book called Yalda, and it's like this really beautiful and exciting time of celebration, and our main characters do get to participate in that for a short time, and just the way that the people's costumes and like the decorations and the food and everything is described is just so tactile, like you really feel like you're there or like you really want to be there. And it's a really nice break for our characters too, because there's a lot of upsetting things that happen in this book that really just hurt your heart, so it's nice that they have at least a little bit of downtime in the middle there. I just talked about this book recently in a wrap-up, and this novel is so fantastic. Please go and pick it up. Number 3. There is a saying in all branches of service that is never leave a team member behind. Pick a character who would make the ultimate sacrifice to bring back their fellow warrior. And I'm gonna go with Gansey from The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. And actually I could have picked one of several characters because I think a lot of them have that kind of intense nobility that would mean that they would be willing to make that sacrifice. But I think Gansey in particular, his friends and the people he cares about, they mean everything to him. And we have seen that he is willing to go through a lot for them. And I think that he wouldn't even think twice about going back for one of his friends or for like one of his team members or anything. Like, he wouldn't even think twice about doing that, even if it put him in danger. Number 4. Integrity is a trait that a Marine always hears. Name a character who is known for their integrity. I'm going with Bata from The Ugly Goddess by Elsa Marston. This is a childhood favorite of mine that I recently reread, and I think, like, I appreciate Bata even more now reading this as an adult. He is so wonderful and selfless, and it makes me a little sad that he doesn't realize what a good person he is. Like, he thinks of himself as being very, like, cowardly and not very bright, and just, like, he doesn't have a very good self-image, and I think that does start to change by the end of the book, but he's just such a wonderfully good and honest character, and he's willing to follow through with his obligations even if it puts him in danger. There are multiple times throughout this book where he knows that something might be dangerous for him, but he's like, that doesn't change the fact that I have to do it. And I think that he's just really brave and really strong, and he definitely has integrity. And he really sticks to his beliefs and to his character, and he might have moments of doubt where he's not sure about what he should do, but he always follows through. Number 5 is Semper Fidelis, aka Semper Fi. This is Latin for always faithful. Marines are meant to be always faithful to themselves, their fellow Marines, and their country. Is there a character who reminds you of these aspects? And I'm going with Butler from the Artemis Fowl series by Owen Colfer. Butler is an intensely loyal character, and actually a lot of his struggles, especially in the earlier books, are him fighting with his innate sense of loyalty and of what is right versus protecting people that he's been told to protect. And I think that dynamic is done so well. I feel like Butler honestly could have been the answer for most of these questions because he has all of these like all of these very honorable traits. He's got a very strong moral compass, but he doesn't always follow it in the way that most people would, or that maybe he should. And I think that's what gives him really interesting character development throughout the series, even though he is like a side character. Like it's not, the series is not really about him, but I do think his character development is handled really well. Okay everybody, so that was the USMC birthday book tag. I'm going to tag Todd the librarian and anybody else who sees this and who wants to do it. I'm going to end this video now because the lighting is getting even more frustrating. So thank you again Lori and Thomas for tagging me. I will see you all soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!